It's Uncle Mark. I'm just working on my Chevy Trax. Look at this. It's leaking antifreeze. This is on a little bit of an incline, but you see it's leaking quite a bit. In fact, after a little while, it empties the bottle. Been looking and looking. I thought I fixed it once, but no. It's a continual leak, and it seems like it's a problem with these vehicles. If you've got a leak, probably this issue. I'm going to take a 10mm wrench and unhook the negative post on the battery just to be safe. That way we don't start any fires or short anything out. Now that that's done, I'll show you where this leak is coming from. It's basically this piece right here. It's a return hose that goes back into the coolant bottle. Tried new gaskets or O-rings. I tried a different kind of a clamp in there too, and nothing would help. So it's a whole unit. It's actually quite cheap, and it's going to be part of this. I'll show you step by step how it's going to go in there. Underneath the vehicle, this is where I can drain the antifreeze out of the rad. Top right hand corner, when I get some time, I'm going to try and post. There was a belly pan under here hiding all this stuff. Try and put a video up as to how to get the belly pan off. But this one's off right now, so I'm going to try and drain it. I put a hose on here. I was hoping not to make a mess, because usually it'll splash everywhere. But this hose, I've used it on other vehicles, and this one is just a little, just not tight enough. It did start flowing, but it's barely hanging on. I'm scared to just let this thing empty while I'm not around. So what I end up doing is just pulling the hose off, letting it drain. It stuck around for a few minutes. Probably going to be a good gallon that's going to come out. And basically that's what it did. If you open this bottle, coolant reservoir, probably let a little more air in. Should let coolant come out a little faster. If it's coming out too fast, just put that reservoir, the cap back on. So, looks like we're pretty much empty. So I'm going to take this top hose off first. Take this little clamp off. This one's been sticking on here for quite some time. There you go. This item came with a new hose anyway, so some clips here we'll take off, push pins, whatever you want to call them. I'm using a special tool for that, door panel tool. Use this with just about all my videos. It's really a handy thing. That's what this little clip looks like. It's a two-piece. Put the middle piece in there, and it spreads little fingers out. Also take this one off here. Just trying to get some access because that coolant bottle's got a couple bolts holding it down, and the bolt access is under this plastic piece. Now, I'm not going to bother taking the whole thing off. I'm just going to pry it back like that. There they are. There's some Torx or E10s. You need an E10 socket. And these bolts are long. I can't believe it. Give you an idea here how long they are. Be turning forever. Look at that. Don't know why they're so long. Whatever, that's what's in there. Take those two out. And I'm just going to sit this on top of the engine over to the side a little bit. Whoa. Oops, dropped it. That should be good. Now, more clamps here and hoses to take off. Got a hose clamp tool. Try and put a link in the description for some of these as well. These are handy to have, as these clamps come off a lot easier with the tool. Also on a connector here, a couple connectors. Get these wiring connectors out of the way so we can get at our housing. This one has a little locking tab. It's actually broken. I'm going to squeeze this and it should come out, and it didn't want to come out. I'm squeezing, maybe there's dirt holding it in there. So I'm just going to, it's just, must be dirt holding it down, just to pry it just high enough to unlock it. There we go. Don't want to break it. And it looks like, move this out of the way. It swivels. Another couple clamps. Oh, another connector. This at least for your temperature sensor. Get that out of the way. Again, it's just got a little guy you can push down on to release it. See it move there. We got a clamp on this bigger hose. This is actually a coolant hose as well. Once you release the clamp, it should come out. Shouldn't really be anything in there. Should all drained out. And a couple bolts there. This is what the new unit looks like, just to give us an idea where those bolts are. We'll move this, another connector. I think this is for your throttle body. So push again, push, squeeze. And then this one, it's actually for air going into your throttle body. 7mm socket. I'm just using it on one of these little thumb ratchets. I'll put a link in the description. If you can, could you do me a favor and give me the thumbs up so YouTube knows we're doing a good job? Give this a wiggle. Probably should have just loosened it just a little bit more, but it's coming off. There we go. Get that out of the way. I'm going to tuck it in behind the battery. And let's see. Getting closer. Oh, one more little hose here. This must go to a heater or something. Get the clamp out of the way. Try and get this hose off. Might have to fight with it as well. And it looks like a little bit of coolant coming out. Yeesh, must just be a little bit lower. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to get that nut to leak everywhere. I just stuck my hose clamp pliers in the hole there. Hold it up high enough. Now an E10 torque. It's a socket I'm going to use to loosen these up. They're not super tight. If you still have the factory housing here, they're actually captured in the housing, so they won't fall out. Just loosen them and they'll just stay in there. Then you can take the whole housing out. Let you know too, I do have a repair playlist on the Chevy Trax, top right-hand corner, yellow flashing arrow. There's a card you can click on there and it'll bring you to a few videos I've done on this vehicle. I'll try and add some more videos as this thing breaks. You'll notice I was using a U-joint, but I don't think you need to. Because the pliers were in the way there, I needed it, but I think you can just use a straight extension to get that out. And again, remember, those bolts will stay captured in the factory plastic housing. You'll know when it's loose because it'll fall off. One more bolt here. Must be underneath. Let's try and feel it. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Try and get at it. Should be able to turn it with my finger since I've loosened it already. And there you go, it's falling off. Look at that. Like I mentioned, those bolts will just stay captured in there. Might try and pound those out there just to maybe reuse them for something. I'll be careful, but that's what the unit looks like. This one I bought an aluminum one. There's a gasket that goes inside here. I kind of lubed it up a little bit with some coolant. Seems to seal a little better when they're done like that. At least that's what I like to do. Put that in there. The new one has 10mm bolts. It doesn't have those torque bolts. And they're not captured in. But I didn't pay a whole lot for this unit, so put a link in the description as well if you want to get one of these. Just make sure it fits your car. You can subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner too, and the next time I come up with a video, you'll be notified about it. Doesn't cost you anything. You never know what I'm working on. Maybe something else that you own. You're going to have to feel to get this thing in the right bolt hole, but you'll be able to do it. Of course, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Tighten that baby up. Just try not to cross-thread it. Which I imagine would be kind of hard to do because it's got to go into this housing first, and it's holding the bolt in fairly straight. But you never know. Just be careful. If I can just show you where this last one is here. You just see it. Just make it out. You'll have an easier time seeing it because you're not trying to use a camera. There's a torque spec to this, 78 inch-pounds or 8.8 Newton meters. It's not a whole lot. You can see I can just do it with my finger as I tighten them up. So you don't want to over-tighten them. There's no need to over-tighten them either. And it looks like they're in and they're tight. Snug, I guess is the word we'll use. Well, let's continue moving on then. Hoses. Let's reverse the order. So the back hose first. Try and get that on there. Get the clamp back on. These hose clamp pliers are wonderful to have. There's actually a couple different sizes. This was the original one I think I got way back. Sometimes it still doesn't want to hang onto the clamp as well as I'd like it to, but two hands will help. I'm using one hand to hold the camera, so. Then our air intake goes on. You may want to loosen it up just a little bit. Oh, make sure that this clamp is not pointing up too high or it's going to cause some interference as this one goes on. Get this guy on, tighten her up 7mm. This has to be snug. As long as water and stuff like that won't get in there. Then we can start plugging back in some of these connectors. I think this is your temperature sensor. There is only, each one of them only fits one type of connector, so you can't mix them up. There's a couple more here we want to do. Oh. This one, I believe, is our throttle position sensor, something like that. Throttle body. And make sure it's on there. It should click. And if you don't hear it click, just try and wiggle it a little bit, make sure that it's not going to come off. Then we have this longer one, which is your coils. Again, make sure it's on there, it clicks on there, and you can't pull it off. Then our last one here, it's going to be a little tougher to get at. Then we're going to have to put the hoses on first. Bottom hose first. Actually, for some reason, this unit came with a new hose. I don't know why I didn't put it on here. But by the time I notice that, it's like, oh, it's too late. I'll save it in case something happens to it later. But I'd recommend, since you have it all apart, why not put the hose on? Connect this together. Make sure it clicks and that little red locking tab is locked into place. That way it won't unhook on its own. Finally do this top hose. This is not the top hose, but enough of these little hoses everywhere. This one is a little tougher to get on for some reason. I don't know if it's because the hose is just getting a little soft, or for some reason I couldn't get the clamp to squeeze opened enough. Nice if they can fit where they were before and they don't leak. Put the top of this engine cover back on. We're just about done. We're going to sit this reservoir back in here, coolant tank. It actually fits in a little finger that it sits in first. Flip it on top of there, and then it'll sit there, and then you'll want to just put those bolts back in. Remember the two really long ones with the torque heads on them? You'll be turning these things for a long time to get them in. Once they're in, just snug them up. This reservoir is not going to go anywhere, but you want them snug because it is holding some coolant in there, and it's fairly heavy. Now we just have these little push pins we can put back in. Line this all up. It's got to line up with this bumper or whatever it is for the hood there. Little piece goes in and then push down. Same with this one. It's a two-piece. And there should be one there too. Just have our last hose. Now this one came, I don't know, because this probably fits a few different cars. I noticed this one was a little longer than the factory one. This is going to snap right there, and on the other side too. Make sure it clicks all the way down. You'll feel it click. If you give it a tug to try and pull it up, if it's not going to come off, then it's down properly. This, I'm going to shorten this hose. I don't want to make it too short because the engine can rock a little back and forth, and if it's too short, it's going to pull it off. Get a little hose clamp back on. Try and fit it on there, and again, this one just seemed to be a little bit almost too small, so I had to pull it over the hump there, then get the hose on, and then put the clamp back on. We're going to put some coolant back in. If you've never changed the coolant before, why not just put a jug of fresh stuff in there? I'm using a 50-50 mix. I'm going to have to put a little bit more in after. It should run as you're pouring this in there. You could fill it up. Because it circulates, there should come out. Now this one looks like it's over full. It's not. I need to add a little more in. I just put in what was in there. Of course, we have our battery. Hook that back up, start her up, let her run, add if required. Just make sure that there's a little bit of fluid in here, coolant at the start, and you should be okay. And as it gets warmer, it should expand a little bit, possibly, or deplete. Anyway, started it up. Then it went down a little bit. And look, it's leaking here still. Darn it all. After all that work, I just ordered another one of these hoses. I actually lost the little clip. There's a stupid little black clip on the end on these aftermarket ones. It's got two little fingers. It can spin around. And it went ting somewhere on top. The transmission can't see it anywhere because it's black. Of course, with the dirt and everything else. So this is the new hose. This is the one that came with this unit. It's supposed to be for this vehicle. It's not leaking. It's kind of a weird shape. I think it's for actually the Chevy Cruze. The bottle must be on a different side or something. I just left the whole thing in there, tried to set it the best I could. It's running now. It's not leaking, and you can actually see it recirculating into the bottle. Got to run at different flows, but at least it's working okay. So got the leak fixed. If you do order one of these hoses, if you have the unit and we're having trouble with the hose, you can, if you're quick, you can just unhook it from the engine, stick your new hose in there, and you don't have to bother draining the whole system again. Thanks for watching.